Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Hardcore series. This is episode 2, and it has been way too long since I recorded this. I didn't really want there to be such a long break in between episodes, but it ended up happening, and yeah, hopefully we can get episodes out a little bit more frequently. But I have been doing a bit more work around here. I did spice up the interior of this building a little bit. Remember before it was just no interior at all? I also brought up this before this part was floating, so I brought up the grass over here. And interior. It's not a whole lot yet, but we got chests. Eventually I do want to do this side as chests too. And then we also have furnaces over here. So pretty sufficient for now. But my plan for this episode is I want to set up a building for some sort of villager trading hall. I think that would be really cool. And we have a lot of villagers over here. I make sure to trap at least some of them inside of buildings, but we also do have a ton of extras in case something goes wrong. So first up, I want to make sure we have a villager breeder set up so we can get these guys bred and have a ton of them so we could transport them over to where our trading hall is going to be. I also do want to do some more mining, potentially get ourselves full diamond gear because we still need to finish that up. But that's probably going to be later on in the episode, maybe also off camera because I don't think that's going to be very interesting. Unless if, of course, I get close to dying or I do die. I'll make sure I'm recording for that in case that happens, but who knows. Alright, so starting off, we need to make our villager breeder, of course, and I just got 2 composters, and probably we're gonna need a lot of this wood, so I'll just take some from the village. Usually for like a standard villager breeder, you'd only need 1 composter, but I actually do these, I like to do these a little bit differently. I think it's a bit easier the way I'm doing it, and you only need 2 villagers instead of 3. Not that that's gonna be much of a problem, but I think, yeah, it's probably going to be easier the way that I'm doing it. Alright, I believe this is the right size. So we want a water source here, and then we're going to have stair blocks around the edges that are waterlogged. So we can get water in those, and that's going to keep all of the soil hydrated, which we need to also do. Alright, we now have this plot of land fully filled up with water, and I did leave this spot open on purpose. You'll find out why in a little bit, but next up we have to get all this farmland tilled, and then I have to decide, actually, it wouldn't really matter what crop I use, but probably I have to do either carrots or potatoes, so I'll just see what the village has. I see carrots and potatoes. What did I get more of? More carrots. Okay, we're doing carrots. Carrots are probably more useful anyway. Not that I'm actually going to be getting them, but who cares? Alright, that should be enough carrots for now. The villagers will replant the rest. So, next what I have to do is build some walls around here. So, this is where my farm gets a little bit different, because usually you put a composter in the middle right there. But instead of that, I'm going to be doing 2 composters on either side, and then a block above that. Actually, we're going to put these as close to the middle as possible, too. That's going to help a lot. So how this farm works is, we're going to have 2 villages up there instead of 1. That's going to allow them to collect the farm materials a lot faster than they normally would if there's just 1. And they'll just breed right inside of the station over there. And to get the babies out, we're actually going to use a trick where baby villagers try to run towards a bed after they're first spawned. So what we do is have a little hole like this, get it up to where our breeder is, and then we want 3 beds on the other side, and we need 3 because otherwise it doesn't meet the spawn conditions to actually spawn the baby villagers. Because of these trapdoors, the villagers actually think they can still reach these beds, so it thinks that everything is completely fine, when in reality it's not. And I believe we need to keep this covered up at first. We need to actually let the villagers find their beds. But after that, we should be good. So next what we have to do is actually get our villagers in here, which is probably the trickiest part, if I'm being completely honest. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to get these 2 workstations, and I'm going to try to lure them in using the workstations. Let's open up a hole right here, and then let's see if we can get any unemployed villagers' attention. This guy is a candidate. Yeah, he looks like he wants this. So what we do is, after he gets his job, there's actually 2 over here. So we can lure them in using this, hopefully, as long as they're not... Okay, this guy's interested. So yeah, he's a farmer now. If we break this, it's not a farmer anymore. But then, if we put it over here, he'll go towards it. Yes! They're actually both coming up, which is even better. So now that guy's employed. I'm going to make sure this is still a slab. And then I'm going to actually break this, because then we won't have any problems with them getting out. That was way easier than I was initially expecting it to be. So I'm going to make like a little parkour jump to get up to this point, so that mobs can't get up. Put a torch there to prevent spawning too. And then all we have to do is get this second composter in here, and they should hopefully start working. The one thing is, of course, we do need to make sure that they get to their beds, so I think what we're going to do is just get rid of these trapdoors for now, and then just wait until it's sleep time for them, and then they'll hopefully get over here and find their beds. But while we're waiting, I might as well at least start laying out a little trading hall. And I'm actually noticing now that this part's sticking up. We could probably lower this down. So what I'm thinking is we actually make this 4-sided, where we could enter from any side. I think that'll be the most convenient. So let's do like a 5-block wide entrance. I also do want to make this relatively open, because I just think that's cooler and a lot easier. The one problem is we do need to make sure it is completely mob-proof, but we could just put like triple carpets down here to prevent mobs from getting in, besides us. I think that's probably the best way to go about this. Alright, perfect. And just in time for it to be night, we have a villager hall laid out now, and I think this is going to be pretty good. We have room for 5 villagers on each side, which is 40 villagers in total, which is actually quite a lot. I think that should definitely be enough. Now I just want to make sure the villagers over here found their beds. I want to also sleep myself, because I'd love for as little mobs to spawn as possible. And yeah, it looks like they did find their beds, so I will just sleep in this one. Perfect. Yeah, they both found their beds. So now we just have to get them back into here, and we can set up the rest of the breeder. So now we can destroy this, and then all we have to do is trapdoors here and trapdoors here, and then we flip them up. So now the babies will try to reach the beds, but they can't actually get past, and they'll fall down into here, which is going to be the holding chamber. I'm also going to put slabs at the bottom of here, so mobs can't spawn. And then let's create like a small viewing chamber. I think if we put 2 walls like this, that should be good enough to keep them out. Although, I don't know. Baby villagers might be able to make it through there, but they definitely wouldn't be able to make it through like that. So I think that's fine. Oh, wait. They do that? They put their... This wandering trader put his llama onto this bell. What? I mean, I've never seen a wandering trader in a village before, so maybe they do that? But let's see what trades this guy has. I mean, brown dye and purple dye. That's honestly not terrible. Perfect. So now, with our villager breeder all set up, it's time to go on a quick mining trip, because we gotta wait for this thing to actually fill up with carrots and get the breeder started. So while we're waiting, that's the perfect time to get some diamonds and suit myself up. And a lot of mining later, we are coming back up to the surface with 4 diamonds. Not a lot, but it's diamond boots. It's something. And I mean, if I'm thinking about it, it's probably better off this way that we don't get a ton of diamonds now. We don't really need a diamond chest plate. I mean, we probably will for a little bit, but I'm assuming we're gonna. Actually, no. I'm really not. I'm probably not gonna be rushing the end at all. So I don't think I'm gonna be getting an elytra anytime soon. So we'll probably get a diamond chest plate eventually, but I think that's our last priority. I think, yeah, with these 4 diamonds, I'll get myself some boots. Then we can continue setting up our villagers, and then hopefully get some good enchantments on them. So I'm wondering how long our breeder was loaded. Probably not for an extremely long amount of time, but I would assume that there's at least a bit more crops in here. Or maybe not. I'm not entirely sure what these guys are up to, but yeah, there's no villagers in there yet. So, you know what? I'm gonna help them out a little bit. I do hear the sound effect of them working, so I think, yeah, it probably just wasn't loaded enough, or just weren't, yeah, they just weren't replanting fast enough. So while that breeder is getting ready, we have a ton of other villagers in the village. We could just bring a bunch of them over here anyway. So I'm going to set up a few trading chambers, and I'm thinking we're just going to do like a sandstone wall, just something like this. And let's just make as much of these as we can. Alright, so we got this whole corridor filled out, and I think we're going to fill this whole area with librarians. I think that's our top priority right now, getting good enchanted books. And next up, we need a efficient way of actually getting our emeralds. Alright, it's almost nighttime, and I think I actually want to try to get a zombie. This might be a bit tricky, but I want to get a zombie just captured for now, because eventually I want to be able to sort of automate the process of curing up villagers. Get a zombie that just travels along a hallway, like down below here, and then we could just, we could probably use pistons to like push villagers up and down that are standing here, and then depending on what position they're in, the zombie can get them. So let's just get a little bit of nighttime here, just to get at least one zombie. I'm gonna stay in the village just so that they're not spawning next to the villagers and killing them. Oh, that's a zombie villager. That's kind of rare. That's good enough for me though. And because it has a helmet, that's actually great because we can sleep now. And it won't burn in the daytime. We also have a baby zombie, which I'm not going to let you hit me. So you are going to follow me. This guy is now trapped, and make sure he has a roof on his head too. So yeah, how we're going to have it is the villagers will be standing on top of a piston, which will be in place of this block here. Actually, probably, yeah, 1 block lower. So it can be pushed up or down, and if it's up, then that's in trading position. If it's down, we want it to be where the zombies can attack them. So I think that means the path for the zombies should be right down on this layer. Alright, we've got 4 slots for villagers right now. So let's do something like this, just to block him off. I actually don't want to use up all the sandstone, so we'll just use some dirt here. I also just realized that our villager friend over here can despawn as of now, so let's see if it can pick up items. If not, then that's okay. Wait, if not, then that's not as okay. Yeah, it can't pick up items, so I guess honestly we could probably just get a new zombie then. The only other option would be to get a name tag, and that's just not as easy. So, I mean, we'll just wait until we're ready for it. I think for now we just need these pistons down here. So I'm gonna get 4 lecterns, and then let's see if we can get some villagers over in these slots, and see if we can get some good trades on them. Alright, it's been a while, but I've gotten 3 guys in here. 3 nice villagers, and they have some pretty good trades on them, actually. I got a really cheap silk touch on this guy. Mending on this guy, which is kind of expensive, but it's alright. And then middle guy, I have not locked anything in yet, because I've been trying on this guy for a while. He does not want to give me a good trade. But also over here, I've started setting up for a future enchanting setup. And I actually got some obsidian over here. So we could actually go ahead and make this right now. So yeah, I think to end off this episode for today, I am just going to put something on here. It doesn't have to be great for now. We'll obviously reset it, but just to have a little something. I guess we'll go with, I mean, what would be better to have? Honestly, I'm kind of leaning more towards this. It's cheaper too, and I do want to preserve my levels as much as possible right now, so let's just do this one. Oh, and we got efficiency too. That is pretty good. So yeah, with that, we've reached a pretty nice spot to end off this episode of the Hardcore series. Obviously, we got a pretty good amount of work done today. I'm gonna sleep though, because I'm playing it cautiously. But yeah, we did quite a lot of work today with the villagers, getting them over into this setup over here, and also doing our breeder over here, which actually has 2 villagers in it now. Wait, is that a third one that I saw? Third baby guy? I don't think so, but still, 2 whole guys in there. Also, ending off this episode, we are on day 40, which is actually pretty impressive. I think we'll probably hit day 100 in a few more episodes, which will be really cool. And in the next episode, I want to get into the Nether, build some sort of portal somewhere. I also want to maybe, of course, do some more work with the villagers. Probably off camera, honestly, but also probably get a structure at least started for this building, because as you can kind of see, I do want to eventually make it look nice. And yeah, we've got it started in this episode, but I want to continue it and make it look kind of like that building, a similar style. But yeah, with that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and until the next one, goodbye.